Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, in a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter David Aldridge. Take a look at the Knicks. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
And it's in your DNA. You come up against a natural rival, you're going to be a little bit salty.
You know, that's what makes these games great. I mean, no love lost between these two squads. It's great competition with a little animus sprinkled in there.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Ntilikina out there with Hardaway. Then it's Lee, and there's Porzingis, and it's Cantor in the center position. The drive by Lee, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand, and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Here's LeVert. The Knicks making the shot. Shot clock at 5. Here's Carroll. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Well, Clark, as we were just talking about, it's an early part of the season, and teams are still adjusting to the players they've got on these rosters. And if you're a coach, how worried are you about wins and losses at this point of the season?
Well, you're always conscious of wins and losses. That's what you're judged on. But you also have to be balanced in your approach, understanding it's a long season and that you're going to be foremanning throughout the season as a team coming together, and that takes time. You just can't rush it. So you can't major in the minors. You got to keep your eye on the big picture and keep working towards who and what you think your team can become.
To the wing right side. And what he's done there, and what about his staff?
Well, you know, brave souls, and I think Kenny Atkinson has the right approach. Time will tell what kind of coach he becomes, but I like what I've seen from him. He confessed that people he respected told him he'd be insane to take the job, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, and he stepped into it. The Nets have to return the faith he showed and give him time to build this team.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Porzingis kicks to Cantor. Here's Ntilikina, and he jams it with authority.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when the team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad. Just not the result.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them.
And
Dinwiddie passes to Booker. Dinwiddie with the bucket.
well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Baker. Out to Sessions. Hands of the ball out of bounds. Sessions touched it last.
Well, he just didn't make the catch. Didn't look the ball into his hands. He must have thought the ball was going somewhere else.
Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Grab dishes to Dinwiddie. Over Baker. Crafty move. He lays it in. Dinwiddie's got his second basket of the night.
And you can sense they're starting to take charge here.
You know, they seem to be on the same page out there, Greg. I mean, definitely the momentum is with them.
Now here's Cram. Defense right on him. Off target at the rim. Baker kicks to Sessions. To the paint. Osgood with the steal. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
And that's just carelessness there.
Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Kilpatrick's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for Brooklyn. some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Baker. Here's O'Quinn. Makes it off the glass. O'Quinn's got his first points of the night. Here's Dinwiddie. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. And he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
Of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut to just 7 points in the basket from Lee. Whitehead passes to Booker. Porzingis with the block. And Sessions kicks to Porzingis. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
And the pass to Crabbe. Booker is screen on Lee. Pass to Whitehead. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. Whitehead's got his first basket. Brooklyn Nets come into this one following a loss to the Nuggets in Denver.
Yeah, you're just not going to win many committing turnovers.
Kuzminskis comes in for Lee. And it's Ntilikina in for Sessions. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam.
I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
And Carroll gets it to go.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
That shot off the mark. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Knicks trail by 9. Hardaway for 3.
And 2 for 1. That's what they'd like to get right now.
That would be ideal, and that's exactly what they'll try to do. They don't need to rush it, just need to get a quality shot, and quickly. Boy, it's surprising that he clunked that one. I mean, especially since the defense was nowhere to be found.
Here's Kuzminskis. Rebound, Brooklyn. Victory eluded them last time in New York when they took on the Knicks.
Really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
And Greg, you know how it is. At some point, you've just got to man up and play with a lot more aggressiveness and toughness and pride inside.
Hardaway for 3. Drains the three-pointer. And so it's Brooklyn with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Looking good at this point. And what was a wild ride of an offseason for the Knicks ultimately results in a regime change.
Yeah, I mean, players butting heads with executives, and when it came down to it, things just needed to change. If the Knicks picked the Zen Master over Porzingis, fans might have rioted in New York City, and hopefully the franchise can kind of start to write very close to changing the team name to the Swamp Dragons. I think I'm just going to leave that one right there.
Beasley's checked in for the Knicks. The shot's good from O'Quinn.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
Beasley with the steal. Baker kicks to Beasley. To the middle. The dish to O'Quinn. Back to McDermott. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Now it's just a 3-point Nets lead. So, Greg, how close were the Nets to being the Swamp Dragons anyway?
Well, it needed a unanimous vote of all the teams to change it, but there was one vote against it. The Nets themselves voted against the change, and they had 7 owners who rotated voting duties, and the one on deck.
4 years as an assistant in Paris, 4 years in New York with the Knicks. Came from Atlanta, where he was a big-time assistant and well thought of by fellow Hawk players.
Yeah, you know, and after a decade as an assistant, Kevin, he led the Dominican national team, so he's had a vast reservoir of experiences on the sidelines as a coach, and now he's, of course, leading the Brooklyn Nets. And
had a to-do list. You knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
Tamari Carroll's checked in for the Nets.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
And again, no good by Brooklyn. And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but the team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
One, no good. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Russell from long range. Buries it from three-point range. Russell's got 7 points.
And the defense scattered all over the place on the break. Nice job finding the wide open three.
And so it's the Brook. 42%. Setting the floor for the Knicks. You've got Lee. Hardaway is out there with Ntilikina. And there's Porzingis. And it's Kuzminskas in at the 4 slot. Russell kicks to Harris. Porzingis with the steal. And now here's Lee. The fast break opportunity. No good from outside. Brooklyn leading by 8. Here's the screen. The D from Cantor. Pass to Ntilikina. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
There's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop.
Tell you what, you wouldn't know they're the team trailing when they're able to pull off plays like that.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Lee outside. Swiped away. Here's LeVert. And he finishes nicely on the layup. And the Nets lead by 8. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Nets.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
Monday Hollis check. It's stolen by Carroll. Bucket is good. Carroll's got the lead up to 10 now for the Nets.
And just a great job of controlling that defensive backboard.
Outside Russell. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Sessions checked in for Ntilikina. They set the pick. Takes the 13-footer and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. And now a 12-point Nets lead. And Sessions kicks to Hardaway. Back to Sessions. He feeds it to Cantor. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Russell again. Sessions. Russell dishes to Mozgov. Back to Russell. And it's Carroll in the corner. There's Mozgov. Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th. Mozgov sets a screen for Russell. They get it back. And Mozgov throws it down. Now here's Sessions. Inside. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off.
Boy, both ends of that play, guys, were fantastic.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Nets.
Fewer miscues made the difference.
I mean, a great all-around effort. Not only did they minimize their turnovers, but kept the pressure up on D, forcing the other team to commit turnovers.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year. And a team's depth is always a factor in games like this. And what a tremendous game. Maybe even a bit of a surprise to see the numbers for Timofey Mozgov.
Now, he was a problem on the glass today, relentlessly crashing the boards and came away with a bushel basket full of rebounds.
Mozgov with the steal. And here comes the break. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And here's Russell. Clock at 6. And it's good for 2. And the Nets lead by 15.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity. And this is what they came out to do.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for...